And then as soon as the news breaks out, all the bug chasers just like flood to you guys. And they're like, yeah, send your monkeys all over me. I want to get all the AIDS.
In a huge backfire, he's canceled the monkey project. There's a bunch of, we talked about that bug chasing shit like years ago. Ooh. There are some just, we're not going to get into it because I read some stuff from some forums about bug chasing. If you look around online, you can find forums from like 2006, 2007. Everyone there is posting is clearly dead by now. But
I was about to say, how many users are still active?
It's like it's people just making post after post, like whole accounts. And you know how you go on a forum about woodworking, and it'll be like Sammy Woodworker posts 8,000 joined 2002. This shit would be like 35,000 posts joined 99, and all of them are like, got my 976th guy paused up today. Just got an IRC chat from him that he was, positive.
So these guys are infecting people. I thought bug chasers wanted to be infected. These guys are
two sides of the same coin. So there were people
you have to have an infector and an infectee.
Yeah, there were people on there who were like, please, I want AIDS so bad. And there were other people who were like, hey, I'm just handing out AIDS here. And so, natural community.
Any of you guys familiar with Continuum magazine?
It should be a crime.
Yeah. It should be a crime.
You guys will like this. In the early 90s, there was a magazine called Continuum, and it was sort of like an LGBT news magazine. And this was like in the height of the AIDS crisis. Nobody knew what was going on. And they just sort of like denied that HIV existed and ran a whole bunch of sort of pseudoscience articles. And the whole people behind it were real believers. The magazine shut down in February 2001 when all of the editors died of HIV.
That's, poetic,
Yeah. Kind of like our leopards ate my face.
Shocking. Was there like 8 guys in the writer room, and like 6 months later there's 2 guys, and they're like, I don't know, like they all did seem pretty AIDSy.
And it was just like a thinning out. It just less and less every day,
Yeah. I got a cold and I was crippled for 3 weeks because my immune system's dead.
Zach pointed out that knowingly and intentionally transmitting AIDS is definitely a crime. I knew that, but I was even saying that like maybe like intentionally getting it and then being a strain on like your insurance provider or the healthcare system in general or whatever, seems criminal to me. It's like, I don't know if I'm hurting myself, like it seems like insurance fraud, right? Like
I get it.
To do that.
I think. Should you be allowed
somehow
to give someone AIDS if they consent?
Well, that's like the German cannibal, the guy that consented to being eaten. He consented to being eaten and also ate part of himself. So
yeah, if you consent,
I was okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I was okay with that. But because I don't have to. Well, it was in Germany, so it wouldn't matter anyway. I'm not responsible anyway. But like. We're not having to foot the bill for this burial, I would assume, because that's the aftermath of this. But if someone is like,
because then the next step to that is like, people who are skydiving, playing collision sports,
I don't know,
who are overweight, people
I was going to say you're getting dangerously
draw
close
the line anywhere.
Like the people, the anti-vaxxers. Like, should we treat anti-vaxxers at the hospital? It's sounding kind of like that.
We should treat them differently.
Yeah, everybody should get treated at the hospital. Jesus Christ!
No, everyone should not treat people differently.
It's triage. It's called triage. It's like a cornerstone of
that's if there's like a disaster to where like you have to choose who lives and who dies. There were hospitals that literally went to triage mode, and doctors did have to decide who gets treatment and not. But broadly, there's a movement of clowns, I believe, that want to deny healthcare to people that don't vaccinate. And I'm more of a believer in that everybody gets equal access as long as they can. In a disaster, that gets more complicated.
How about this, though? Why should their insurance provider have to cover their hospital stay if this person is refusing to get vaccinated? It's like easily preventable. It doesn't.
Tons of vaccinated people get COVID.
Sure, but it's not near the hospitals. You could do some easy math, right? The hospital stays a lot less expensive for those that were vaccinated versus
what's the burden like obese people? Is it about the same as the unvaccinated?
You're preaching to the choir. I'm glad you agree with me. We should get them lumped into this too.
I'm saying you don't want to draw any lines. Intended. The people who want to skydive, if they shatter their legs, they need to be okay.
Skydivers are okay. No, you're wrong about that.
No, I was saying they should take care of them. How are they going to risk their life again if their legs are shattered? Put those things back together.
Shattered legs is the last thing you're worried about skydiving. You turn into a pancake if it goes wrong.
Yeah, if it goes wrong and you end up with shattered legs, that was a really good wrong trip for skydiving. You know.
All right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're wrong. I don't know. I just don't. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I feel like if you're unvaccinated, I don't know. Like maybe you just go to a different line, Taylor. See, separate
so.
but equal. You're okay with that, right?
No,
Oh,
God,
You're always saying that. Separate but equal.
Yeah.
Pals. Separate but equal.
You're
I know
always
one
right.
thing about Taylor, it's that he approves of separate.
But now when it applies to you,
Dude, imagine,
yeah, now,
I don't
now
like it.
suddenly Taylor's
Dude,
involved. He's
imagine if
unvaxxed
like
and
that
it's not
was
okay.
imagine if that was one of my like hardcore over the years beliefs, separate but equal. You know,
But
I
all
can
of a
get along
sudden,
with most
he's
things, but
separated from the
separate
equal.
but equal.
Yep.
Yeah.